Well, Mr. Segun Showumi, let me go back straight to asking you this question. The appeal court judgment that upheld Senator Alimodu Sherif's position as the national chairman. The chairman of the Reconciliation Committee of the party, Governor Seriake Dixon, had suggested that the caretaker committee members resign and recognize him. It was one of the moves that he made in trying to reconcile the party. Why didn't the caretaker committee consider stepping down as an option?
Yeah,
especially when the appeal court, when judgment also nullified the national convention that brought forth that caretaker committee.
Yes. Let me ask you, did the Court of Appeal say that Alimodu Sherif and Gulak and all the strange names that parade themselves and call themselves members of our NWC should preside over our party? The Court of Appeal said go back to status quo. Status quo does not mean that you have the power to be doing whatever you want to do. And insofar as we didn't see people like Olisa Metu, the names that we know were members of our NWC before the Court of Appeal come on board, the situation then meant that those who loved our party chose to remain with the people that they thought were doing the work of our party for now. What ought to be the work of opposition at this time? Okay. You will never find Gulak and his friends do one of that. They will never have any pronouncement as to one thing that the APC is doing that is not right. They will have no pronouncement on the economy. They have nothing to say about what's going on with the IPOD, the Igbo agitation. Nothing. Everything that an opposition party should do, they have nothing to say to that.
Let me bring you back in, Mr. Gulak. Let me ask you directly. The McAfee, the led caretaker committee, and most of the governors, or some of the governors, say that Senator Alimodu Sherif is doing everything to frustrate the PDP as a viral opposition party in Nigeria. Let me ask you directly, is Senator Alimodu Sherif working for or against the PDP?
Politics is about rule of law, like I said. People keep on talking, oh, they are waiting for Supreme Court judgment, as if they own the Supreme Court. It amazes me. Once you are a governor, you must say things that will accord with the rule of law. I'm talking about senior stakeholders of this our party, especially the two governors, Governors Fayose and Governors Wike. They should be people who, when they talk comes from governor, excellencies. But when you talk as if you own the Supreme Court, oh, we are going to get judgment in the Supreme Court, as if you own the Supreme Court. Okay, as of today, Sherif is the national chairman. Pending when you get your judgment in the Supreme Court, we must abide by the rule. We must show ourselves as law-abiding. Because you have immunity does not mean that you engage in impunity. All we are saying is that, look, this party belongs to everybody who wants to be a member of this party.
Okay, isn't it a matter of concern that in a state like Delta, which is known as a PDP stronghold, the PDP lost in local government elections to the Accord party? Isn't it a source of concern for the national chairman? What is he doing to bring cohesion to the party at this point, in a matter of hurry? For State House of Representative elections,
the entire local government election was swept by PDP. Don't you talk about that? You are talking about an isolated case in Delta. Why don't you talk about the fact that in Iboin State, throughout the Iboin State local government election, PDP swept the polls?
But the Southwest governors have said they've lost interest, they've lost faith in Senator Alimodu Sherif, and they will not back him in anything. Doesn't that worry you? The numbers are counting.
Which governor? Governor Wike and Fayose? They are the two governors supporting McAfee caretaker committee that has been dissolved and declared illegal by the Court of Appeal. What we are saying is that all PDP members must be law-abiding. You must exhibit that desire to be law-abiding. The fact, nobody is above the law. President Buhari is not above the law. Former President Obasanjo is not above the law. Former President Goodluck Jonathan is not above the law. Once the court has made pronouncement, let us abide by it. Let us say, yes, we are law-abiding citizens. Let us go in accordance with this rule of law, with the court pronouncement. If the Supreme Court tomorrow says a different thing, so be it. But as of today, we must show ourselves as people who abide by the rule of law. In one breath, you want justice, but you don't want to do justice. That does not work.
Okay.
In a democratic society.
In our final moments, Mr. Gulak, Senator Sheriff had said he has no interest whatsoever in contesting for the position of the national chairman when the national convention holds. What then is the way forward to making the People's Democratic Party desirable, again, as a veritable opposition party in Nigeria?
We have said it severally in different fora that the Dixon Committee, Governor Dixon Committee report has been accepted wholeheartedly by Sheriff and his NWC. An early convention, and Governor Dixon Committee proposed early convention to hold in June 2017 as against the court pronouncement of December 2018. That is the political solution every serious-minded politician should be going for.
All right, thank you very much.
Not grandstanding.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed Gulak. Mr. Segun Showumi. On a final note, at the end of the day, both of you are members of the same party. What is the way forward?
No,
what saddens you, and what do you want to see?
The thing is this: we're not in government now; we're in opposition. And therefore, we're going to be looking at our dramatic personnel, the leaders of our party, and be seeing which of them is playing the role of an opposition leader. Whatever you say about Fayose, anybody that is in PDP or in opposition knows that Fayose stands up for the opposition. Whatever you say about Wike, everybody knows that Wike is standing up for the opposition. But are you going to compare the position of those ones with this lot?
What then is the way forward?
Listen. The cat is already out of the bag. The way what Nigerians and what people of our party are waiting for is this Supreme Court judgment. Let the Supreme Court come and tell us whether a political party can gather at this convention and make rules for itself or not. If the Supreme Court makes a pronouncement that is going to have far-reaching effect on other political parties in the future, everybody will know.
What if it doesn't? The judgment doesn't come out in favor of your faction? Are we looking at? I don't know about faction.
I'm not even a faction person.
Okay.
If the judgment comes and says Alimodu Sheriff is the chairman, let him continue with this attitude and see who will remain in the party with him.
So we are looking at a possible shift.
There will definitely, you say, politics is dynamic. People are not going to say, okay, they have a personal issue with Sheriff as an individual. He has not killed any of their children. He has not raped any of their wives. This issue is about the kinds of party that we know and we are used to. And we are also aware that some strange fellows are the ones masquerading and managing the puppet from behind. And we know the roles and the attitude of those players. Therefore, what Gulak does not know about them, we can tell him that we've seen this happen in Ogun, we've seen this in Lagos, we've seen it in
other words.
And made worse is their pronouncement. You cannot make a pronouncement like that against the former immediate past president. You know why? Because whatever it is that we're going to take to the people is the combination of what Obasanjo did as president, what Yar'Adua did as president, and what Goodluck Jonathan did as president. This
all right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And so, Alimodu Sheriff cannot come and be talking to him anyhow, and party members will be happy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Segun Showumi, a member of the People's Democratic Party, and Mr. Ahmed Gulak for joining us from Abuja studios. Well, that's where we wrap up the show tonight. Very many thanks for being great company. I wish you a very blissful weekend. Bye for now.